Yeah, congratulations. First, good evening to members of the media. Congratulations to the club. Congratulations to the boys. I thought a good effort and a good shift. I was just saying earlier, as coaches, we can't measure our teams based on the result, unfortunately. But we are, in a sense, we are performance parameters. We look at the performance and we ask ourselves, if we play like this 10 times, how many of those games would we win? And so the question that I ask myself is that if we play like the way we played today 10 times, I think we would win 9 out of 10. And we won today, and I think the better side won. We had a lot of control in the first half. We struggled a little bit with the early balls behind, with the speed and the counter-attack, but we dealt very well with that. There was no pressure from our build-ups, so we could always find the half space. And the problem was progressing from the half space once we get into that area just in front of the defensive line. The balls wouldn't stick. We would have so many turnovers from Tash, from Lodge, from Neo. The only person that is press resistant is Sipho. And when Sipho went into that area, he could keep the ball, but the next action was not progressive. It would be sideways, backwards. And so that's why we couldn't really maintain some of the situations we wanted to develop around the box once we got into the pockets. But we addressed it a little bit in the second half. We tried to push Obas's line a little bit higher so that we could push the eights a little bit higher, and then maybe the eights could find the spaces in between the lines. And when we did do that, we could also have Modiba playing as a third midfielder, which would help also with the underlaps and the overlaps to try to create overloads, which we did well, especially with the subs. I thought they did exceptionally well. Mediata, the impact was good. Esquivel, the impact was good. Lisibanku, the impact was good. And I said, and I will say this maybe again, there was a time when Real Madrid signed Luka Modric, and the Real Madrid fans were not so convinced. And it's funny because the Sundowns fans forget very quickly how Neo Maema came and there was question marks, how Khuliso Mudau came and there was question marks. I can go on and on and on and on and on. But they improved because of coaching and the work that we do behind the scenes. And I'm just pleading with the Sundowns supporters to be a bit more patient with Lisibanku. He's got so many weapons. Players like Lisibanku succeed in football and at big clubs because they've got weapons. He dribbles, he's fast, he defends, he counter presses, he's always in the box. Watch, Lisibanku always runs into the box from wide positions. A player with those type of qualities for a big club is a huge asset, and there's just an adaptation that needs to take place, because part to his development and his career and his education also is a little bit of trauma. You must understand, you're playing for a team that's fighting relegation and gets relegated, and you are a key player. And so, of course, there's a sense of an accountability that takes place. And so psychologically, you've got to overcome that before you have to adapt to playing for a big team. So there's so much that's happening, but my plea is be patient. You will understand why Lisibanku was signed at Sundowns. I'm just asking the Sundowns fans to be a bit more patient with Lisiba.
Conscious of the floor, you guys can just take advantage of.
Mentally, what does it take for this team to keep going? I mean, we'll hop on the invincible thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's edging so ever closely. What do you say to the players at this point?
I want more. I tell them I want more. They look at me like I'm crazy, but I want more. I want more passes. I want more. I want them to rest more. I want them to recover more. I want them to train better. I want them to watch their matches and do corrections more. I want them to want more from themselves, better performances from themselves. I want them to want more from each other. I want them to want more on the pitch, off the pitch, I just want more.
I know, Coach, you've asked this so many times, but surely you guys are talking about it now. I mean, fair enough, you go game by game. I'm sure you're talking about just finishing this season unbeaten.
No, I will. If I say no, we're not talking about it, I'll be lying. I did ask the question. I did ask the question to say, when will we start talking about it? And I haven't received an answer. But I did ask the squad in one of my team talks in a debrief session, and I did ask. I said, when will we start? And I didn't get an answer. No, I don't think we were really talking about it, to be honest.
Just maybe before Kens comes in, Coach, do you think we'll ever see a team that just is so relentless? I mean, I've covered Sundowns for so many years, but this team just keeps going. Even at 0-0, you just got the sense that a goal is coming.
And that's every game. And that's how we play with so much control. And that's why sometimes my worst games, when I have a bad feeling about the performance, is when there's no control. And control means boxes are secure, you know. You are in the other box, there's danger. And you are in the other box, you limit the danger. And a lot of credit needs to go to these boys, because we rotate and we try this, we try that, we change systems. The last 3 games, it's crazy. I was watching the game against Chiefs, and I said, how on earth are we playing Neo Maema and Mkhulisi as the double pivot in a game at FNB? You've got 2 10s playing, 8s, 10s. Or 2 offensive players playing as the 6s. I don't know. So they've got to take a lot of credit for trusting the coach and trusting their abilities and performing the way they perform.
Coach, evening, Coach.
Evening, Kens.
I mean, you've reached the 50 game mark for the season, and in this period of the season, you are now playing teams that literally play after every 7 days. Because you just came out of the Champions League, you're still in the Nedbank Cup, and these teams are only focusing on just seeing the season off. I mean, how difficult is it to keep digging so deep for a team that still has so much pressure? Like, you're looking at the last game of the season, your players are still going to go to the national team. I mean, this is just too much mileage.
Yeah. To whom much is given, much is required, isn't it? You know, when God put it in the Bible, we thought, here's another quote for the lyricalness, you know, for the poetry. But the reality is true. To whom much is given, much is required. And when God gives you in abundance the blessings, you've got to also accept that there's a price to be paid, and we've accepted it because we can't change the situation. We have to look at it as a positive, and I'm an optimist by nature, so I look at it as a positive, and I try to say, can we give as many minutes, as many chances to as many different players as we can, and can we try as many different things as we can. We're trying different formations, different schemes, in fact, I don't even want to say formations, because I don't believe in formations, but different schemes, different ways of coming out from the back, different ways of pressing, different ways of trying to get into the final third. But we're trying, but also there's a lot of trust. We trust each other now. We've spent a lot of time together, so we know each other very well. The players know me well. I know them very, very well. And that helps, you know. So the stability is there. The management is extremely supportive, you know. And I run out of superlatives when I have to describe how much support I'm getting from the club. And it starts all the way from the top with the chairman to people like Shupi even. You know, the amount of support and encouragement in good moments and in bad moments is greatly appreciated, and this is why we have what we have. You know, it can never be a one-man show. You see every single press conference I attend, there's a Colin there. His work is undervalued. He's behind the scenes, but it's the support that he provides, and it's that support that helps us to be the team that we are. You know, so. It's a collective effort, and everybody needs to take credit and praise for it.
My last one, Peter got to go today.
Yeah.
It's the most talked about thing because it's a season of anomaly for Shalulile with that goals he scored.
Yeah.
How have you helped him ease the burden of coming out of games without getting a goal or without finding solutions?
I talk to him. I speak to him on the phone. I have late night conversations with Peter. I praise also parts of his game that you expect from a striker, and he does some exceptional work for us. But also, I don't know how this will be taken, but I have to say it because I think in life, let me make it as an example. Let me make myself as an example so people can understand. No one can say to me that I am a coach that doesn't believe in young players or doesn't help players get better. Because from my whole career, there's a track record that speaks about my work at Platinum Stars with players like Dino Ndlovu, Tato Tlone. It goes to my work at Pirates. It goes to my work at the Sundowns Academy with Percy Mkhulisi, the late Madisha. It goes here into this team where there's players that have come in and they've improved, Cassius and all of that. So from the criticism of not playing Mabena more regularly, I have to be exempt from that. Because if there is a coach that has shown over the years that he believes in youngsters, it is me. The record is there to speak for itself. And I think that's Peter. If there is someone that is exempt from this Mamelodi Sundowns squad, from criticism about not scoring goals, it's Peter Shalulile, because the track record speaks for itself. And sometimes this is what I say, you know, as human beings, we are very, very quick to forget. And I always say this thing, and this is so important because it transcends beyond football. Every human being wants to feel loved and appreciated. And love and appreciation is not only in the good moments, it's also in the bad moments. And that's where genuine, true love is. And when a player like Peter, who gives his heart and soul every single day, when he's on the pitch, even if he doesn't score, he runs, he presses, he creates chances for others. I mean, these type of players are allowed a couple of off days. You know, you forgive them for having a couple of off days because the good days far outweigh the bad days.
Just lastly for me, you've talked about the players, but let's talk about you now, Coach. How are you blocking out the noise? I mean, documents are being read on the record. Coach Rhulani could have went Egypt and all of that. Such a crucial stage of the league. Still a lot to play for. You've wrapped up the league, but there's still also the cup final. So how do you block out all that noise and everything that's happening?
I'm off social media. I have someone else running my social media. I'm just out of that space. It's very toxic, and I'm focusing on the responsibility because the responsibility is huge. To lead this club is not it's more difficult than people think. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes at Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club, and to be the coach, you've got to be able to forget a little bit about yourself as Rhulani or as Mlungisi, because no one cares about who you are and the person you are and your feelings. What people care about is the results and the performance, and so every day you've got to show up as the coach and not as Rhulani Mokwena, and that's what I focus on.
Just to have it on record, Coach, tomorrow is Mother's Day. Just a message to the mothers.
Oh.
Can speak to the camera there.
Oh. Yeah, no, we are what we are because of our mothers, you know. We have, all of us, incredible stories to write about the influence that our mothers, our aunts, our grandmothers, even our sisters, and some of them who have taken up that role from a very, very early age of motherhood, because of circumstances and because of God's way, and they've gone to do it with aplomb and raise each and every single one of us on this planet with greatness and with love and with care, like mothers do. And this is just a special wish on behalf of Mamelodi Sundowns, the entire football club, the technical team, the players, and the Yellow Nation. We wish you a happy Mother's Day, and may you be spoiled as rotten as you deserve. God bless, and thank you very much for all the love and the support that you give us.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.